why they take our stories and do like this, you know? Because my story is really American history.
Come on now.
We ain't talking about a story that ain't. My story's in the books.
It didn't need no 12B12.
You know what I'm saying? It's in the books.
Yes.
This story is gonna live. This story is gonna live forever, and for them to try to change the narrative of the story, you know, and make it like
Fantasy.
it turned into the fantasy. Now nobody gonna believe that this story was ever real.
Y'all ain't heard. It's the dirty third. You know what I'm talking about? It's going down.
Once again, it's on. It's your boy Miggity Mike D. This is the Dirty Third Podcast, one-on-one with Mike D. And tonight, man, we got a legend. We got a king. We got an OG in the building, man. I'm talking about he started small-time dope game, cocaine for real before Brad Jordan. That might have been before he was thought of, huh? He's getting money in the 70s and late 70s and 80s, huh, man?
Yeah.
Freeway Ricky Ross in the building, the real OG Freeway Ricky Ross, and he is not a rapper. I'm talking about.
Thank you for that introduction, man.
Talking about, man, no other way, man. It's a pleasure, man.
Man, all mine, man. You know, man, it's been, you know, having a ball this weekend down here in Houston, man.
Has he been loving it?
I've been loving it. Thank you, too.
Oh, man, it ain't nothing,
All
man.
the blessings.
We went to the book signing. You had people popping in. They pulling out. They going, hey, they went back and bought them for the whole family for Christmas.
It's been crazy. It's been crazy. You know, I've been telling all the homies back in Cali, man, this is the new Atlanta.
You better believe it.
And maybe popping harder in Atlanta right now.
That's facts.
For real.
And for y'all don't know, we on tour. We publicizing this book, man. Tell us about what you got going on here.
And you know, this book came about, you know, for several reasons it came about. You know, when I was in the joint, youngsters kept coming up to me, asking me, you know, man, how you make so much money in the dope game? You know, I was selling dope and I was trying to do my thing. And the first thing came to my mind was the only reason they didn't become millionaires is because they didn't have me to school them. You know, a lot of people, they think when you in the game that it's about price, quality, but I'm going to be straight up with you. When I first started, my prices, my quality was all of it, but I had to build it to get in a position to where,
right,
you know, where I wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, had I, you know, quit at the first bump, you know, because I hit a whole lot of bumps.
You had a big bump in the front of your game too, man. Run us down with the first time that you got some work. How was that experience, man?
Man, I didn't know what I was doing. You know?
Come on now.
I was a tennis player.
Okay.
Stepping into the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had never been in the streets before. I mean, you know, I grew up in the hood.
Right.
But I started playing tennis at like 13, and that kind of took me away from, I mean, I lived in South Central, but I wasn't of South Central, you know.
Gotcha.
Most of my time was spent on the tennis court. I wasn't doing the thing that my brothers was doing and my cousins.
Mm-hmm.
They was all in the streets already.
Oh, no.
But I was, you know, in a whole nother world, which I feel aided me in the long run because from tennis I learned discipline. You know, I learned that, you know, you can't do what you want to do and get to where you're trying to get to. You know, sometimes you have to make sacrifices. You know, you have to say, you know what, I ain't going to the party. I ain't going to the theater tonight. You know, I'm gonna work on my trade.
That's right.
And when I got in the dope game, it was the same way. You know, the homies, when we all started out on the same level. Matter of fact, a couple of the homies was ahead of me.
Wow.
You know, because they had more money than I did. So they was already ahead of me, but I talk about it in my book too, you know, two of my homeboys who I brought them into the coke game. Mm-hmm. You know, one was selling weed, one was selling PCP, and they already, you know, when I started, they had $20,000, $30,000 already stacked.
Mm.
But when I brought them into the coke game, I told them, you know, okay, you selling PCP, you only getting it $10 at a time. You know, I'm getting mine $100 at a time because at that time I didn't sell nothing less than $100. If you didn't have $100, you couldn't come get no coke from me.
What year was this?
Probably like 80, up until 81, 82. You know, when we started to change a little bit, you know, we sell a little cheaper. But at that time, if you didn't have $100, don't even think about buying no coke. You know, you couldn't buy no coke. $10. I mean, I remember the first time I heard somebody selling a $5 rock. Man, I said like, what? A $5 rock? What that look like?
Where do we start?
Yeah. So the discipline from tennis gave me an advantage over my friends. You know, they didn't have that discipline because when I first started, I didn't drink, I didn't smoke. When I started selling coke, I never even saw weed before. Yeah, I never saw weed.
You was a straight athlete.
I was trying to be. I thought tennis was gonna get me out the ghetto. You know how when we're young, you know the main thing you want to do is get out the ghetto. You know that's what everybody talking about. Man, how can I get out the ghetto? You know, not understanding like I do now is that we don't want to get out the ghetto. We want to build the ghetto up.
Come on now.
You know, total different mindset than what I had before. But I thought tennis was gonna be my way out. So I was putting all my eggs in one basket.
Man, did you meet Serena and Venus?
I met them when they was like 12 years old. You know, my oldest kids played tennis. I had a whole little tennis squad that I was sponsoring.
Come on now.
Yeah, I had about 8 or 9 kids, and Venus and Serena would come over to Rancho where they practice at, because you know it's hard to get practice. You know, it's like basketball or any other sport. You need somebody to go up against to get better. You know, you can't get better just playing by yourself or playing with bums. You know, you want somebody tough. So I had a couple kids that was really good before I went to prison. But once I went to prison, they didn't have anybody to do the things that I was doing. Back to that discipline again, you know. That discipline, man. Without discipline, there's really nothing.
For real. It's all mental and physical.
Yeah, you all over the place. Without the discipline, you all over the place. You just gonna do whatever, you know. Like and I ain't picking on alcoholics and nothing like that, but like somebody getting sloppy drunk. You know, no discipline.
Off your game.
They don't have enough discipline to say. You know, some people can say, you know, I'm gonna take one shot, I'm done. But, you know, then you got the ones that they just can't stop. They just keep going and keep going and keep going. No discipline.
Functioning.
And that go with everything, though.
I swear.
Without being able to say, you know, I'm going to stop right here. Or I'm going to keep going and whatever, you know, if it's a workout, then you got to keep going. You know, I'm going to get my workout in. I'm going to do my running. I'm going to do my exercise. I'm going to do all the things that it take to get to that next level. Well, when I got in the dope game, these guys didn't have that type of discipline. You know, they didn't have the discipline to say, you know, like I was telling you about my 2 partners. When we all got up to like, I was at my first 16,000, and I don't know where they was at in their game because they was ahead of me at first, but both of them went and bought brand new cars. And them brand new cars really turned them into my workers. They became my workers because what happened is I went and bought a pound of coke. And with that pound of coke, when they got ready to re-up, they were still buying like 4 ounces of coke. I was buying a pound of coke. So they wanted to go re-up. It was my connect. So they want to go re-up. So I called a connect. Hey, my man want to get, and this is when I was green.
Right.
I said, my man want to get 4 ounces. He said, sell it to him.
You got a pound, which is 16 ounces, not even a half a bird at that time. So they was playing on you too. They was playing on your top too.
Man,
what was the price for a pound, which is 16 ounces for you people that ain't never been
like
on this level?
I was paying like 30,000.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was paying like
that's
30,000.
too short of a half a brick. So 60,000 was the number on the joint?
It was more than that because you looking at 30. And then they took out the extra 4. You know, you got an extra 4 in there. Where you get 2 pounds and 4 ounces.
Yeah, you weren't getting the 2.2. You was just getting 2 pounds. Taking out 4. He told me it was crazy when my man who I first started with, when I got out of prison, I was trying to get an interview with him.
and he had got paralyzed. His wife shot him in the back, and he was laying in his bed. And when we was talking to him, he was laughing about how I didn't know what a kilo was, so they kept me stuck on pounds.
Whoa.
So they could get them extra 4 ounces. But yeah, I mean, you know, the first ounces I bought, I paid $2,800 for an ounce.
Oh my God. Ooh, we ain't
Well, I
never
could
heard
make
them
nine.
numbers.
I could make 9,000 off of it.
And this is before y'all not selling rocks at this time, though. Y'all selling powder.
Powder, you know, people was rocking it up. A few people was rocking it up. Most
Okay.
people was nosing it then, though.
Okay.
You know, powdering their nose.
So it wasn't affecting your hood yet at this time. In the 80s, it was like pimps and players.
That's all. Doctors, lawyers.
Socially accepted.
Ike Turner, you know, those type of people was getting down at that time. You know, wasn't no welfare mamas. You know, they couldn't afford it. You know, the welfare check was, but you know, probably $200 for the whole month. You know, so
and then each pop was $100 lick each time you did what you did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they weren't affording that right there.
Yeah, it took a while.
But he get on
It
that.
took a while before they got hip to it. So, but by them buying them cars, turned them into my workers. So now, when he put me up on the game, right, he tells me, he said, you sell it to them. He said, they pay $2,200 an ounce. He said, you getting them for $2,000. Less than $2,000. So it turned out I'm making, every time that they get an ounce, I'm making like $300 off of his ounce. Whoa. So he buy 4, I make $1,200. And he buying these every other day.
You understanding the art of wholesale back then.
So they taught me to order wholesale. I ain't never wholesale nothing at this time.
Was it hard for you to grasp that, knowing you could make 9,000 off of it?
I'm a good listener. You know, one of the things I pride myself on is being able to listen. You know, most people can't listen because they want to tell you what they thinking. But I learned at an early age when wisdom is talking, listen. You know, and listen without an opinion. You know, don't go basing your opinion on what you think. But anyway, these two dudes alone started taking care of my girlfriends, bought houses, bought cars, because they grew too. I mean, I think the last time I probably served one of them, he might have bought them 75 keys. You know what I'm saying? And I never stopped making. Not as much money as I was making at first, you know, because at one time, you know, you talking about when I was selling keys at 45, I might make 12,000 profit off of one key. Oh my God. So dude come by 20. You know what I'm saying? I just murdered him. But he loved it. He loved getting murdered. You know what I'm saying?
And you in Los Angeles at this time.
Yeah, this is when and then you know when you send it to like Texas, you know.
Yeah, back home, man.
Yeah. When I sent it to my cousins down in Texas, who they wound up getting like 45 years in the state. You know, I would just slaughter them, you know, and they loved it though.
But you was giving them A1,
and the price at that time for the market was crazy because they getting $3,000 a zip down here.
But you could take it then and mix it with. And you take a pure,
you didn't have to mix it.
Whoa, that was your motto. You
didn't have to mix it.
Frank
You was getting
Lewis
it cheap
was like
enough.
you, yeah, but
you was getting it cheap enough. You know, if you getting it, you figure if you getting it where you can make. Say for instance, my cousins in Texas when they started, I think I was giving it to them for like 27,000 a kilo, and I might have been getting it for like 15, 14. But now they could take it here and get 3,000 a zip. So you talking about 90,000, and that ain't even breaking it down. Then if you got like a spot where you like,
did you have spots back then? Was it
not out here?
No, I'm talking about in Los Angeles.
Oh, of course I did.
Okay, you was a smart man. Yeah, you getting the OT money and the in-town
Oh
money.
yeah, but I mean, you do it. You know, if you're gonna do it, just go all the way with it.
What started? I know your story is Snowfall. Snowfall is your story, you know, that they took and they put a spin on it. It's not 100%, you know.
Yeah. But the basis of it is me, you know, based in L.A., CIA involvement. I ain't really watched the show. You know, I watched one season.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I can't watch it.
Damn.
It's hard for me to watch.
I know where the heart though. This is, yeah. You hit me in my pocket. It's hard for my heart to accept it. But man, it was pretty cool.
And you know, the parts that I did watch, you know, I watched one of the seasons after John was dead, and they just was so full, you know, lines and stuff.
Oh, that threw us off there. Yeah, they hurry up, got off that shit.
Yeah, you know that kind of stuff. You know, it's just like, man, why they take our stories and do like this? You know, because my story is really American history.
Come on now.
We ain't talking about a story that ain't. My story's in the books.
It didn't need no B12.
You know what I'm saying? It's in the books.
Yes.
This story is gonna live. This story is gonna live forever, and for them to try to change the narrative of the story, you know, and make it like
Fantasy.
it turned into fantasy. Now nobody gonna believe that this story was ever real. And you see how they'll change history on us right in front of our own eyes. You know, they'll tell us what we saw, we really didn't see it.
Amen. But I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, you did a lot of time. Your name has carried a lot of weight, man. I was born in '74. I was in the game probably '84, 10, 11 years old, jumping off the porch. Your name was heavy then, man. Like here in Texas, you know what I mean? So it's like, So, you know, from as far as I can remember my days in the streets, your name has been there. So I think the story is very believable, but they know Hollywood from reality. You know what I mean?
More people gonna see Hollywood. It's more people believe that the rapper is Rick Ross than the ones that know that I'm Rick Ross.
We gonna go there. But I want to ask one question. You were up to $3 million a day at a point.
Not every day.
Not every day, but at one point that was a marker.
Sometimes.
Okay.
First, 15.
The good
days. They
days.
used to get them checks up.
Them boom days.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this: how did you do that without no bodies?
Well, you know, when I started in the game, man, I started with $125.
Okay, take us down.
Let's get it straight, because you know people don't believe that you can do that. But I started with $125, no fronts. Nobody wasn't fronting me nothing. They wasn't throwing me nothing. It was just like, take this $125. My boy had $125. We put it together. We flipped it. We took that $250, turned it into $900. Go back to the man, paying what we were short on getting that 8-track, and just made it grow like that. So.
But you did have one bump in the beginning when your boy introduced you to it with the 50. Can you tell us about that before you go out? You know, that's happened to a lot of us. And me and Elliot was talking about that earlier. Like when you learn in the game, you don't know what you're doing. I think every successful person has fumbled the ball when they first get their first pass.
Unless you got somebody that walk you through it.
There you go.
You know, if you ain't got no mentor, you really call that a mentor.
Right.
You know, if you ain't got nobody to mentor you in the game, then you're gonna run into those roadblocks, you know, those bumps in the road. And it's gonna be how you deal with those that determines how far you go. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I almost quit.
What's that deterring?
When he literally beat me out that 50 my boys, and I'm like, oh shit, now I'm already fucked up. Now this other motherfucker, $50. I mean, this is my boy, right?
Right. Come on now.
But you know, when you thinking to yourself, you're like, damn, I'm fucked up right now. You know, damn, I was bad already. Now I'm really bad because I owe this motherfucker $50. I don't know where I'm gonna get it from. I can't steal cars no more.
Okay.
So you know, I kind of feel like I'm down on my luck. But the dude who got the 50, he brought Big Mouse over to the house with $100, and that really got me going again. You know, I just kept running in between because my boy that owed the 50, I feel like I'm just doing it for him because I owed him 50.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And you my boy too. So, you know, I feel good that I can put some money in your pocket. So now you ain't really hounding me until I get me a lick to come up. And it just so happened, I did it like that for about 3 or 4 weeks. And then my boy, you know, Ali, who was my boy, was in jail. So when he get out of jail, I tell him what I'm doing, and I told him what I needed. I was like, man, if I had $300, man, that's all we need is $300. He said, man, come on, man. He said, come on, start a car for me. I'm going to do everything. So that night we went out. The night he got out of jail, we went out that night that he got out of jail looking for $300.
Oh, man.
And GTA, baby. I jumped in there, barred it up, started it up. And, man, that car was hell, though. The car we got was
What
hell.
kind of car was it?
It was a 2000. No, I mean, it was a 72 deuce and a quarter. Had wire bulbs on it. Had some brand new wires and bulbs. So we knew, you know, that should be a $500 lick.
Easy.
You know? So I barred it up. I got the alarm off of it. We still couldn't get it started. So we pushed it out the driveway, and my man said, man, let's go get a tow truck. So we went and stole the tow truck. Hey, we was young, man. We was 19 years old.
Right.
We went and got a tow truck. I jumped in the tow truck, started the tow truck up. Man, he went and hooked the tow truck up to the car, put it in the garage, and the rest was history. You know, I ain't been under $300 since.
Come on, man. Even today.
Even today.
That's what's up, man.
You know?
So when did the transition happen? Like, how did you meet your plug? Like, where that came in at?
Well, my boy who I was talking about, who gave me the 50, I was buying from him at first. You know, so going through him, and he started using.
And
So-
it's the tennis, it's an instructor.
No, not
it's somebody
not
else.
This,
Yeah.
this is my dude. My,
Oh, okay,
my
you
homie,
got it.
the big homie. You know, say the big homie. And I'm buying from him, but he not growing. You know, he using too much. His habit is
Killing him.
Is killing him. You know what I'm saying? He making money, because I'm bringing him money, but his habit is strong. You know, his nose is bleeding because he's snorting so much. And then you know what happened once they nose start bleeding, they got to stop snorting and they start hitting that other thing, or yeah, one of the two. So
Lucy.
he went from that to smoking primos, and it got worse and worse and worse. So I had to get around him. So we started looking for somebody else that we could get coke from. You know, now we out on the prowl. We probably got about $700. You know, we ain't really got no money, but then $700 was a lot of money.
I swear.
You know, you get
Take it a long way.
yeah, you can get killed over $700. And we just kept looking, and one day I was doing a '59 Chevy, and I've been going to this skill center, and the teacher of the skill center, me and him played tennis together, and I went down there to see where they was at on my interior, and he was like, man, where you been? You ain't come to class no more. It's like you just left your interior down here, and you know, me and him was cool, so I couldn't lie to him. You know, I had to tell him what I was doing. He was like, man, come by the house, and he gave me my first Nicaraguan plug.
Ooh. And
He
this
gave
South
me the
America. Yes, sir.
He gave me the one that I was telling you, who, when I got out, he died shortly after I got out of prison, and I wish I would have got an interview with him, man. Because he talked about me in such a novice and a baby way that he saw me grow. You know, he saw me grow from a quarter ounce of cocaine to you know,
Cane round this bitch.
100 kilos.
Cane.
To 100 kilos. So
Ooh.
he laughed about how he used to take advantage of me, you know. And when I say take advantage, it wasn't
He's making money off you.
in a real negative way, because I still was happy about what was going on. You know what I'm saying? 2,800 for me was a good deal for an ounce.
And I
was
made
like,
9. I don't care if you made 300. Who cares?
Yeah.
Or if you made 5.
yeah,
Fuck it.
yeah. More power to you.
I need you to make money, and that's what people don't understand. The game only works if everybody in the circle is making money.
If somebody in the circle ain't happy, the circle ain't gonna be happy.
It ain't gonna work. And you did all this with what was the highest grade you completed in high school?
Man, I shouldn't have been in high school, for real.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. I couldn't read at all.
Hold
More
on,
than-
you got a
more
whole
than-
book though.
More than it is my name and my mama's name. Them the only words that I could recognize when I was in school.
Man, how did you get through?
Man, I had a method of being able to deal with people. And
Of course.
and I wrestle with this, right? I wrestle with, how did you get through high school? Why couldn't you read? You know what I'm saying? All of the stuff I done.
You was good at faking it too, wasn't you?
When you sitting in that cell for 20 years,
Okay.
huh? By yourself most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
All kind of stuff is going through your mind. You can go back to streets and times and people, and it's just you ain't got nothing to do but think.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And at first, when I first fall, I can't even read a book. I can't read the newspaper.
Damn.
So all I can do is just think about my life. How did I get here? What is my girlfriend's doing? How's my kids? You know what I'm saying? You sitting in the cell and it's, 24 hours a day. That's all you got to do. They only let you out for an hour. Let you out take a shower. You might come out for food, and then they put you back in that cell.
Trust me.
And where I was held at most of the time, it was a Mexican prison.
Right.
And they didn't really allow many blacks to be in that unit. You know what I'm saying? Like the Mexicans wouldn't allow you to be there. They allowed me to be there. So I had a cell by myself all the time, and they won't allow one of their people to stay with no black.
Oh no, are they the same way down here in jail? It's a little different in the streets, but in jail it's like that.
Yeah, like you
Politics.
can't. They won't let them sleep with you.
Eat, sleep, nothing.
Yeah, sit at the same table. You can't sit at the same table. So most of the time, I was by myself in a cell. No TV, no radio at first. So you got all this time to just think and go over your life. So I'm going over my life, and I'm thinking about, how did I get through school? And what I understood is that the teachers didn't dislike me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I was smart enough every now and then
Pay a motherfucker.
to get your paper. You set your paper on the table. I get it, and then I was smart enough too not to get them all right like you would.
Miss a few of them.
I would purposely miss some.
Hey,
you know what I'm
man,
saying? So
yeah.
the teacher would be like, "Oh yeah, well he may have did this."
They probably like, boy, this boy is the greatest of all time. As long as you turn it in, it don't matter. It's just crazy because I'm just thinking, I had a friend of mine that was like that, but he couldn't count. Could you count?
Oh, I counted real good.
I see, because to make that money, you got to know how to count. But this boy, he couldn't count. But what he would do, he had a system. He would put his money in, like say if he only sold $500 ounces, right? So everybody had to have $500 so he could look. He got common sense, and he was buying 2-3 bricks at a time. So he would put all his money in a bag and bring it to me. I used to think at first it was a loyalty test until it was getting short because, of course, it's girls stealing. You go to cleaners, they get the money out your pocket.
Yeah.
You do this. You know how the game go. Your girl love to
That's
do that.
in my book.
Yeah,
That's in my book.
But everybody girl like to wash their clothes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they bread
But my
right
girls,
there.
they didn't wash my clothes. The
I'm sure
maids,
you
the
took
maids did. The maids washed the clothes. The girls, they
So
didn't. The maids, the girls wasn't gonna do no clothes
It's a
washing,
difference.
and they wasn't taking them to the cleaners. But everybody else want to take my clothes to the cleaners.
flag.
So when I go to jail, I call. I was like, "Why y'all always want to take my clothes to the cleaners?" He said, "Man, you used to leave money in your pants all the time." And then I understand, $3,000 was really nothing to me at that time. $4,000. You'd be walking around with that, and it was crazy. I remember one time I'm at a stoplight, and this kid pulled up on me. He said, "Man, I got this $50,000 I owe you."
You
And I
didn't
was
remember.
like, "You owe me?" And he's like, "Yeah." I said, "You don't owe me no 50." And it just so happened that one of my other boys had gave him the work.
And just give it to Rick when you see it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. How did you get the name Freeway Rick?
Well, we grew up right on the side of the freeway. So when we were stealing cars, we'd strip cars right on the side of the freeway. In LA, the freeway is kind of like a dead end. You know, don't many cars come down. You know, nobody really come there. My mom stayed right next to it, so the only thing that touched her, you know, sided with her house was the freeway. So nobody could really see what we was doing. So we would strip cars on the side of the freeway, and it was this cat named Jay Clayton, and Jay Clayton was he was a shot caller.
Okay. For the Crips.
In the Bloods.
For the Bloods. Okay.
Yeah, I think Jake was a Blood. See, I didn't really know much about the Crips and the Bloods then.
Wow.
When
But
I
you
first-
knew Tukey and Raymond Washington. Did you know some of these people?
I seen them and
Right, in passing, yeah.
And they hung out with some of my older cousins,
Okay.
but I didn't. I'm a tennis player.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't
Thank
play
God.
with guns. I don't play with guns. You know what I'm saying?
So that's how you missed it. That athletic mind, because you know the more money you get, the more bodies, the more the fed time. That's why
Yes.
you here.
Yes. So I had knew those guys to be around,
Mm-hmm.
but I never really hung out with them
That's a blessing.
or was able to associate with them. And then when I started selling dope, they was all in prison. Raymond Washington was dead.
Yeah, he was dead by that
He was
time.
already dead. Tookie, you know, was on death row already. So I never really got to know them.
Right,
You know,
right,
like that.
right.
When I was coming up, it was a different shot
Time
caller.
and eras and time.
Yeah.
They had it always. I know when I was going to LA getting a drink, they would take, you know, like it's monument. Like I say, you're a legend, bro. And the dude I was dealing with is right there off the I-10. He's like, yeah, this Freeway neighborhood.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
I
I
said,
come
wow.
up. I come up where the Hoover Crips start.
That's where I used to be at.
Yeah, I come up right where they start. So, and you know the Hoover Crips claim me.
Yeah, they do. That's what I'm telling you. They like, this is Freeway neighborhood.
they
like
say-
this
they
part
say-
of the
they-
street. Yeah, this how he
Even
got
in
his
jail,
name.
when we was in jail, if somebody say something to me, you know the Hoover's gonna have something to say about it.
Come on now.
You know, but I never
Banged or nothing.
Bang,
That's
nah,
good because
nah.
that's probably how you missed the violent part of, and then having money at that time being violent. Oh my God, that wouldn't have mixed too good.
no, because you know when I first started, I was standing on the street, running up to cars. You know, you can't run up to no cars selling no dope.
Let's set you claim. Where you from? How much money you got?
Yeah.
How much money you got?
And one of the things that I noticed, you know, I was talking to Bishop Jones and some other pastors last week about they trying to come up with a pact where they can stop the mentality that we got right now. And they was asking me about the gang banging and how can we get young black men to come together. And you know, I told them that when we were selling dope, after a while, Crips and Bloods was selling dope on the same blocks. So what I believe is that for money, they'll squash their differences.
You've seen them work together.
I seen them work together.
Me
I
too.
seen Crips and Bloods
Me too.
get along. You know,
For that dollar.
for that dollar. You know, but if they don't have, you know, where there's no money, there's no hope. And you know, Jesse Jackson said, "Where there's no hope, there's dope."
Hey man, you know
And
he know.
I don't mean to be laughing
I
about it.
know.
But it's a true fact. If we don't find some way for the young brothers to get some money,
It's over. It's over because they have nothing. You got to replace it with something.
and you know when I spoke, you know, because I'm one of the ones who spoke in California for the social equity, you know, for us to be allowed to get marijuana licenses, because what was happening at first, they was pricing us out of the marijuana licenses. You know, they were putting the prices. Oh, you got to have 200,000. You got to have 500,000. You got to have $1 million in the bank. Like in a lot of states, like Florida, if you ain't got $23 million, you can't get a license.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And what I tried to explain to them, that if they lock black men out of this game, it's not going to work, because when it was illegal, we did it. Going to prison don't scare them.
Man.
And with the laws now being as lax as they are, they're not gonna stop because this is a way a lot of them feed their families. So if you lock them out of the business, then the business ain't gonna work.
Man. And that's a prime example of how a big time is really an entrepreneur. If you had some choices at different things, you would have succeeded like you did in the work game.
I do. I think I can succeed in any business because
It's a mindset.
and I have the ability to and the discipline to listen, and then once I listen to execute, what I'm listening to. I'm not gonna let somebody tell me that I can do certain things and still have money. I know that you can't eat your cake and have it at the same time. If you want to keep your cake, you got to save it. And that's the same thing with your money. If you want to keep your money, when you get it, as soon as you get it, you can't run out to the store. I mean, I looked at when they did the pandemic and they got these lines at the Gucci store. You get $30,000, man. That ain't no money.
We want to put it on. It's crazy.
And they spend it on Gucci shoes and Gucci belts and buying cars, and then all of a sudden, all the money's gone. I like to flip my money at least 2 or 3 times before I buy something.
And at least buy it with the profit. Good Lord, y'all listen to this man. I'm telling y'all gonna learn something tonight, man. This is crazy, man.
I mean, if you let your money grow enough, the profit will become so big that you can just do it off the profit. Like with me, I used to make so much money when I sold coke that my $1 bills was crazy. Some days I would get $30,000 in just $1 bills. And
What did you do with the 5s and 1s, Rick?
the 5s, they took the 5s. They wouldn't take.
Oh, your
ones.
people took 5s?
They took 5s. Yeah, they
Oh,
wouldn't
you
take
had
the 1s.
po hustler that. Just trying to think 100 bricks and 30 bricks or 20 bricks and 5s, 10s, and 1s, especially back then.
Man, I had a closet full of $1 bills.
Oh,
The
it get big.
the guys used to have the strippers come by the house
Are you
and throw my
serious?
ones up and gamble with them, and
All that.
all the gamblers would come by to trim my boys because they know,
They got the dollars.
they got them dollar bills. But yeah,
That's
man, I done
too
had dollar
true,
bills
yeah,
get
man.
stolen out of garages because I got them stashed in garages. I mean, the banks told my mama, don't come in here with no more ones. They gonna investigate you. That's how many ones.
Whoa. I mean, it gets serious because you got to think we dealing with the public.
And they want to know where they all coming from. Where you getting all these from?
And people think, oh, it'd be 10, 20s, 50. No, you getting 1s, 5s, change.
Yeah.
Shit, motherfucker taking everything. I used to have a big old Zarka thing for the change. Give me that too. Put that in there.
And then everybody dump on you too.
Yeah.
All your boys, they dump their ones on you.
Man, especially if you take them. Oh, my God.
Yeah, they'll dump on you. Here, $4,000 worth of $1 bills.
I'm telling you, just dump them up. And I can't even take them up there.
Yeah, and then you can't take them nowhere. So what I did, I stopped taking them. I did like they did.
You had
I
to
stopped
stop taking them. Yeah, you
and
got
those
to.
would still bring them, and I wouldn't count them.
I'm not doing it. Damn.
So that
That's
was
dope.
another little story. All my counting girls, they found out I wasn't taking ones no more, right? They know I don't take ones no more. So when the guys bring the ones, they think they supposed to keep them.
They gonna keep them.
I look up, they got new cars.
Oh, they going down. Man, so about your height was when? 85, 86? What?
84 to 86. They started the Freeway Task Force around 87. Well, they started the Freeway Task Force before that, but 87 is when I really felt it, when they really kind of like started getting some traction, started knowing what my rock houses was.
Ooh.
Because, I got kind of
Cocky.
system, not cocky, but I learned a system.
Okay.
I knew it took them 2 months to get a search warrant. They got to send informant in and try to make a buy and, watch the house for a certain period of time. So by the time they would do that, I'd move to another spot. Because back then,
That's how you do it.
I could buy the houses. At that time, houses in L.A. was probably selling for like $80,000. So, I could almost buy a house every week. So I would buy houses. I would buy houses just to turn them into rock houses.
No, that's right.
And it also was an investment. Because, I would always try to get it under market value.
Yeah.
Where I get it a little cheaper than what it's supposed to be for. But I would just move them around.
And now they turned to a money house, chill spot, a smokehouse.
Yeah.
Did
Or just
you
leave
have
it-
that system where they come
just-
in and smoke and could do their thing?
When I first started.
Okay,
But
yeah.
but after a couple of years, we were so big that we didn't have time to let nobody smoke in there.
Right.
It was two lines lined up. You figure what we was doing, we started what we call a double up. So everybody else was selling a gram for $100. We started selling 2 grams for $100.
Amen.
So dudes was coming from
Far and wide.
yeah, and not understanding. I didn't really understand how 4 people would go to make $300 or $400.
Come on now.
To me, I would, I'm
Yeah.
now that part I probably was cocky about because
Right.
I didn't care about 300 or 400, but guys was coming from 100 miles, 200 miles to make extra $200 or $300.
And quality. Don't forget, you just made a point about quality, too. They come find quality. They say great work always sell itself.
Yeah. So I learned all this when I was in prison. When guys was coming up to me, man, I should come from, I should come from Arizona. I should come from here. I was coming from
It's
there.
coming from everywhere.
Yeah.
Why didn't you why you just didn't get a record company in that time or invest in the rap game early and just
I was investing.
get with Easy E? Hey, Easy.
It wasn't
Hey,
no
you the
easy
big-
in.
Wow. So you had a jump start on New York shit.
I was doing rap.
Okay.
I was doing rap. I had we was throwing parties. We was doing that in when I used to play tennis. I used to go and play with some rich people's kids. They would pay me to go, and I was poor in school.
Right.
So the tennis coach who taught rich people kids how to play would set up matches for me with rich people kids because I was a little older, and some of my partners was better than me, but they hit the ball too hard, and they didn't want people to hit the ball hard.
Too hard to their
They wanted them
kids.
to really work the kid, make the kid work. And with me, that's what they would get. Would be somebody they size, because I was a little guy. I'd be they size, hit the ball kind of like what they hit it, and not overpower them. So I'm playing with these kids, and one of the guys that I was playing with was a guy named Otis Smith. And he took care and bought me shoes, rackets, and almost treated me like a son. Put $20 in my pocket, at this time.
Big deal.
Big deal. $20 lasts me 2 weeks.
Everything was a quarter.
So now I'm doing real good in the dope game. So I said, I'm gonna take the day off. I'm gonna go watch some pros is playing in Santa Monica. So I'm gonna go watch the pros play today. Had never been to a pro tennis match, and I go out there. So here the little boy that I used to hit with. Now he a grown man playing for UCLA. He number 1 on UCLA team.
Oh, Lord.
They playing against Stanford, all white team. His team all white except him, and they get into an argument. So I see it's finna be a fight. The brother outnumbered.
Vastly.
And the brother in trouble. And that's like my little brother.
Oh, he's going down.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all finna jump on my little brother. Not today. And these some big white boys too. They was huge. So I get on the phone. I had a phone then. It was like
Come
80,
on, man.
83-ish.
The big.
Yeah. So I'm on the phone. Man, some white boys out there trying to jump on me. Man, my dudes was there in like 10 minutes.
Come on now.
Like a 30-minute drive. They was there in 10 minutes. And just as the match was ending, I see my guys coming over the fence. And the old man who used to buy me all the stuff and feed me and give me tennis shoes, he hit him in the eye. Pow! I saw the pus come out of his eye and everything. And so my cousin from Tyler, Puckwood hauler. Hauled Puckwood all his life. Boy, hands was swole up from hauling that Puckwood. You ever seen somebody
He
haul
like a
Puckwood?
donkey kick.
So he jump over the fence and he running and he was on his motorcycle and he running with his helmet and he look at me. I said, man, he caught that dude with that helmet and I saw blood just splatter everywhere. So they beat him up. I go down and break it up. So after I break it up, Otis, who it was, he didn't know who I was. He didn't know me because I was hair on my face. Now, he ain't seen me since I was 16.
And you recognize him?
Yeah, I knew who he was all the
Okay.
time because he
Right.
had, you know, when you get a certain age, you don't
Can't
change.
change.
as
Right,
much,
right.
You know, so I knew who he was. Plus, I knew who his son was, so I
Okay.
knew that was him. So, but he don't recognize me
Mm.
because I was 16. Now I'm like 22.
Right.
And I break the fight up. So the tennis coach come up who introduced us because I wasn't even gonna tell him. I wasn't gonna say nothing to him. You know that I did that for him. Like, well, nothing, man. I owed you that.
Hey, come on now. If nothing else.
You my man.
Save
I would have
it.
did more than that if you needed it.
Ooh, for real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You could get more than that. You don't even know what you could get from me.
Oh,
You
how
know, from
powerful it is.
the way you treated me when I was a kid.
That's dope.
So
man.
the coach tell him, oh man, Lil Rick probably did that for you. He said, Lil Rick. He said, yeah, you remember. I'm standing right there and they talking about me.
Man, he telling
He
him.
said, man, you don't remember Lil Rick? He used to play with Lil Otis when he said, oh, yeah. He said, man, I owe you dinner. That's what Otis tell me. I owe you dinner.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go out for dinner tonight. He got the rag over his eye and eye all swelled up.
Damn.
I said, cool, we can go to dinner. I'll let you buy me dinner. If you want to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
buy you dinner
Yeah,
for
but-
real.
Yeah, we really don't need it, but
I
let's
really
go.
don't need it, but
Just to
if,
respect,
if you
yeah.
offering it, let's do. So we go to dinner that night, and I had never asked him what business he was in. I just knew he drove Rolls Royces, and, you know, and stayed up in Westwood. So we sitting there, we talking, and I find out he was in the record business.
Whoa.
So I'm already tampering with hip hop. I got artists I'm taking care of and everything. Standing in, I got apartments, the whole nine
Oh,
yards.
right.
So he tell me about this girl that could sing and that I should be doing her record instead of hip hop. The hip hop was fast, so I come to the office next day. We go up to Dick Griffey's office. You know who Dick Griffey is?
For sure.
So we go to Dick's office. Now Dick is telling me, man, get Otis the money he need. He needs $600,000. Get Otis the money. Don't do it in that hip hop. The hip hop ain't gonna last. Now, I remind you, I'm messing with DJ Pooh already.
Wow.
You know, DJ Pooh was with Dre. All them was
you
together.
know, I know
they
Pooh
all
is.
was hanging out together
Yes,
at that
sir.
time. So Pooh spend the night at one of my girls' house sometimes with her little cousin. Her little cousin was in Madcap. I don't know if you ever heard of Madcap.
Yes, indeed.
Madcap was the first group to ever come out on Loud Records.
Mm-hmm.
So they would stand at her house when I be out of town, you know, doing my
Doing
thing.
you, right.
She don't want to be by herself, you know, so she bring her little cousins over and they hang out and
Kick it.
hip hopping and all that stuff at the house. So Pooh tell me, man, give me the money to do my album.
And Dick told you don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Ooh,
So-
DJ Pooh.
I give Otis the $600,000.
And who is the artist?
Anita Baker.
Wow. So you telling me, man, well, Dick Gregory. So you had the first hand in Anita Baker's first album.
Well, you know, Anita was signed to Chapter 8.
Okay.
Chapter 8 was signed to Beverly Glen Music.
Mm-hmm.
I supposed to be part owner of Beverly. When I gave him that $600,000, that supposed to made me 50% owner of Beverly Glen Music.
And let me guess, he.
Yeah. Well, I went to jail. They told me, they begged me, you know, Dick, Otis, Barry Gordy, all of them like, man, leave that dope alone. Don Cornelius, because he knew all them. I was in the circle with all them.
Oh, you was right there. You was poised.
So,
oh, my God.
so they all told me, man, quit selling dope. And with the power you got, you can run this record business. But I'm like, shit, I'm giving all y'all money.
Yeah, I gotta keep rolling.
If I don't give y'all no money, where the money gonna come from?
Amen.
So I couldn't see myself quitting.
Ooh.
And that's when he did, her first album. We did Anita Baker's first album.
Anita Baker, man, that's history there, man.
I gave Patrick Moulton. Patrick Moulton sung all the hooks, produced all the tracks on that first album. I gave him the production money.
600,000, got it in there. And when you went to jail, they just...
Well, she jumped labels. She jumped from Beverly Glen Music
to Capitol or something like that.
No, Epic, I think.
Epic, yeah.
So I paid the lawyer for the lawsuit while I was in jail. I was paying the lawyer.
That's right, yeah.
But they settled out of court.
And
they settled that case out of court where they never... nobody know what that settlement was.
Undisclosed
amount of money.
Closed on the books.
And then my girl was going to court. She was going to court, keeping up with everything. And then she got, oh, man, they keep putting it off. And I ain't going. And, she got a boyfriend.
For some reason, when you're in jail, your money is not important to the next person as it is to you. That's crazy.
Well, and what they don't be understanding is that without you getting the money, you can't take care of them no more.
Because they probably think you got houses hid with money on the floor. My people think I grow money on trees in the backyard, so I could just only imagine your story.
So I never knew what they settled for, what that settled amount was. But I was supposed to be part owner of that record label, and he tried to do the paperwork. He wanted to do the paperwork, give me my my paper saying how much. But I knew the game from the way people taught me in the street. Don't put your name on nothing.
Oh man,
keep your name off everything.
And then it's the direct opposite for the music. You gotta have your name on everything.
Well, really,
you be getting paid today.
I mean, really, with houses too.
Yeah, you gotta put your name.
Because
on there.
what happened is once you go to jail,
it's theirs.
It's theirs. And then they put in the newspaper I was getting a life sentence without the possibility of parole.
Yeah, your own family give up on you.
Yeah, they say you ain't getting out. He don't need it.
They don't
I
believe
know one
it.
of my uncles tell me you ain't giving this house to them girls.
Wow. Have you ever met Big Meech or Gangster Williams or any of these top figures?
I know Gangster. I know Gangster from jail. I know Meech from jail too. When Meech fell, Wendy Day started a correspondence between me and him. She wanted me to assist him with his case. So we wrote back and forth,
That's dope.
About what he was going through and what he could expect and stuff like that there.
That's real. Was you surprised at the 30 he got, or was it like that was pretty normal?
I thought that was a good deal.
I think so too, because they had a lot of stuff with it.
Yeah, I thought that I know if he'd have went to trial, he was gonna lose. No way he was gonna win in trial from the stuff that I saw. So taking a deal for 30 was, because I knew people who had a deal for 30, went back to court, and got a life sentence.
Trying to play with them.
And then when they had did the 30, they still had the life.
Ooh.
They did the 30. So when you're dealing with it like that, you gotta be real careful that you don't pass up a deal that you would have already done.
Right.
So
right. Yeah. Nah.
I was glad when he took 30.
And he worked his way on home, man. I tell you that, man. That's a blessing. Welcome home, Big Meech, man. You know what it is, man. BMF, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, welcome home. And then we used to talk on the phone, too. When I got out, he was calling me.
Oh, that's what's up, man. Have you heard from him since he been home?
I haven't heard from him.
Yeah.
My P.O. Found out that I was getting calls from jail. So they took me back to court for that.
What?
Yeah, that's associating with felons.
But they be going too far with this here. Don't they know you can go out in the world and it's...
Yeah, but if they find out, they took me back to court and asked my judge to violate me for that, for taking calls from jail. The only reason my judge said she didn't violate me is because I did so much time. At that time, she said I did a third of my life in jail. And she felt that putting me back in for a year wasn't going to do me any good. And she also told the judge, that's probably all the people that I knew because I've been gone so long, that all my friends was probably in jail.
Yeah.
And she was absolutely correct.
Come on now. What was the weirdest person that reached out to you in jail? You know, I done been a few times, man, and got some crazy fan mail. Did you get any crazy fan mail or a woman or something?
Well, you know, I just found out that some chick used to write me, somebody used to write me and send me pictures of Esther Baxter and say that they was Esther Baxter.
Did you believe it? You didn't believe it?
I did believe
at
it.
first.
Yeah, I believed it.
It better be.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know that people did that.
It's called catfish.
I didn't know that. I never heard of it.
Yeah, it's called catfishing, man. It's serious, man. That's crazy. That don't mean.
Yeah, so I
He never had nobody play to be somebody else. Now that's crazy. Yeah. What you sending your money to?
No, she ain't never sent no money.
Yeah, see, that's
but there was some other ones who did.
I know,
you know,
man.
Some of them send money up in there. They look out for you. And you know, I met some good friends like that.
For real.
Yeah, I met some really good friends from
Pen
friends
pals.
that I'm still friends with right now today that we work together.
And they introduced themselves to you in jail while that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And came and seen me and
that's what's up, man.
matter of fact, my two babies, they mama we met while I was in jail.
Man.
The last 2 years.
It's crazy because they get attracted to the person that you are, that you're trying to be. And that's why I be telling when I get out of jail, like, you change. You don't have to, a few years, you go back to reverting back to your way. And girls say, you changed. No, I didn't change. You met the change. I was trying. This is really me. I don't like you. Yeah, I know, because I was trying to be better for you. That's how they go, man. That's crazy, man. So how much time did you end up doing? You was in jail twice or once or twice?
I did 20 years and 3 months with 2 bids. I only stayed out 6 months though.
Oh my God, man, that is.
And that was the worst. You know, you hate to get a taste of freedom and then have it snap back so fast. And the way they did it to me was, you know, it was a fucked up situation. You know,
that's all the way fucked up.
They was mad though, cause you know I beat my first case because they had formed a task force. They called the Freeway Task Force, and these cops were supposed to get me, you know, to put me away, and they couldn't figure out my system. See, because when I sold dope, I didn't keep dope in the house. I never mixed dope and money. When I moved dope around, I'd have 2 cars with, you know, a front car and a back car for protection. When we cooked dope, we had walkie-talkie, so we'd have the whole block surrounded, so wasn't nobody coming around the block. I figured out that the cops did their raids around 6 in the morning, so we would go cook dope at 2 in the morning. We'd be finished at 5.
Was this the infamous trash can? I heard something about a trash can.
Yeah, it was a big old bucket. I mean, you know, when you cooking, you know, 200 keys a night.
Can't do them one at a time.
No,
I know what like 20 and 3-4 microwaves looking like, but I can only imagine.
No, we ain't use no microwave.
Yeah,
Man,
we got 100 jars and 3-4 microwaves. We thought we was big time.
We set up them industrial stoves. I had industrial stoves hooked up, you know, like the big pots that they cook beans in at the county jail.
Yeah,
we had those kind of pots hooked up, and you know, we want to do it fast, so we trying to get out of there.
And bust it down.
And we lose a key or something in the cook.
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Boy, I can only imagine because, you know, we so intricate. We do the little circles and it got to be pretty and this. Yeah, I would just
we would take a hatch.
And weigh it.
I mean, you know, my guys who want to take pictures of the rocks, they be so big. I mean, you know, we talking about rocks like this big and that thick.
You going to get your money back. You ain't got to worry about losing.
And you take a hatch and bam.
Go down the middle of that thing.
Go down the middle and split like a log. You know how them logs split?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, before we get off Beach Them and Gangster, how you feel about this new era that's out here, the snitching era? You know, how these boys, do you feel like, you know, it's different nowadays that the laws that, because I think it's like you got cooperating and then you got snitching. So Like in one of your cases, if the police, I got to tell on some dirty police, that can't be no ratting. If I got to tell on my partner, nobody go to jail.
First of all, snitching is, and a lot of people get it mixed up.
Explain
Snitching
it to us.
If me and you go and commit a crime together, me and you agree that we're going to commit a crime together, and I get caught, you get away, and I tell on you.
Mm-hmm.
That's snitching.
That's snitching. Yeah.
If you a cop, you trying to catch me, but you can't catch me, but you pull some dope out of your pocket and say that it was sitting right here, and I go to court and I say he lying, that dope wasn't there.
That's not snitching.
He planted that dope.
That's a loophole. Well, not a loophole. That's just, I'm gonna
telling
keep
the
it real,
facts
like it is. And also, for y'all youngsters, y'all need to know, too, that, though, our lovely, down south border people, they don't feel like it's snitching if you a nigga.
That's true.
I don't know how it is in California, but that's real true.
Well, that's what they say.
But that's only up, Houston.
On my tapes, that's
I can't, because like and before you go, I got to correct this, our fan base is a lot of Hispanics, and we do a lot of business with them. But the higher-ups, they don't like us, man. They know that. You know what I mean?
Well, in my case, that the Nicaraguan said that he only told on us. That's what they said in the paperwork. Well, he only told on the niggas.
Was he a police or did he turn informant?
He was the minister of agriculture for Nicaragua from jump before they had the war.
Your plug.
My plug. He was the minister of agriculture for Nicaragua. When they lost that war in Nicaragua, they kicked him out, and he became what they call a CIA operative. So what a CIA operative is somebody who gets a check from the CIA, but they can't be a CIA agent because they're not a citizen.
Because they're not from here.
They're not from here.
So when he came here, his job was to police or make money for the war?
Well, they say they start off making money for the war.
Okay. But
you working with the CIA at the same time.
So were you going to jail no matter what?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if he had to go to jail. If he probably would have quit at a certain time, he probably would have never went to jail. But I guess his greed wouldn't allow him to, to stop making that money. That money get good to you. And then you smart too, Whoever think that they gonna get caught?
I mean, if you got this government working with this government, my head is probably...
For sure.
So I don't see him doing any crime at that level because people got to understand you never see a gun. You never see, you see gun, but at that level you don't see the things
really
that we
guns.
see.
They don't see. They wouldn't.
So they don't see the damage.
No, they wouldn't. They
don't think they're doing nothing.
They wouldn't worry about getting robbed or none of that. It's just, hey, you take that over there. And even with me, I never knew that conspiracy. Like they don't need no dope. They don't have to catch you with no dope. I'm thinking that we thinking that they got to catch you with the 200 keys. In order for you to get some time. But when you find out about the feds, when you go to the feds, you find out where they really don't need no dope. They just need somebody to witness that you had the dope, even though the dope smoked up. I mean, when I got my first indictment, I was like, oh shit, that dope gone that they talking about, but. In court,
it stands
that's
up.
a real number.
Yeah, 2 or more, ladies and gentlemen. That's all they need. 2 or more is a conspiracy.
Well, they don't even need 2 or more. They just
what?
need they don't need no 2 or more to back that. No. They just need evidence. Like, say for instance, my guy who testified on me, one of the guys who testified on me in my Cincinnati case, he testified that we was at a hotel and he saw me sell somebody 10 kilos. So you know what they use as corroborating evidence?
What, you staying there?
The hotel records. Oh yeah, y'all was at the hotel. How would he know if he wasn't with you?
And the jury get to...
So now the jury has to decide, is what he's saying true or not true? But they bring 2 or 3 people in and say, oh yeah, me and him was such and such. I saw him with $50,000. I saw him with $100,000.
Now they catching a ride. That's what they call it in the
And he's
feds.
a known. Everybody in the neighborhood know he sell dope.
Picking up that phone on the wall on you. That's the code.
So that's the kind of evidence they need. People be thinking they be needing like hard, solid evidence, but with the feds,
money trails,
Western Union transfers,
bank statement,
any of that stuff,
no employment. Yeah, you living the life. You at the Gucci store. You got all this trinkets and gems and jewelry and all that. That's crazy.
Feds, they play by a whole different rule. You don't get no preliminary hearing with the feds.
Oh no, that's why they.
You don't never know what your informant gonna talk about when he come in there. So.
Or who your informant.
I just didn't know all that when I was going through it. So when it popped up that they could use that kind of evidence, it was shocking to me.
Well, you learn a lot down there. I know you say you learn how to read and write, so I know you stayed in that law library.
Every day.
How do you feel about gangster getting his curve with the dead people? Do you consider that snitching, or do you think that's borderline?
I mean, ain't nobody gonna get hurt.
If I'm dead, give me all the bodies you can find. You feel me? Go home, my brother. Nah, for real, go home.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't feel like that. It's a big debate about it. I just wanted to hear your opinion on it because.
And I still talk to Gangster. I talked to him when he was in jail. I don't think he hurt nobody
at all.
Yeah.
At all. If I'm dead, give me all the bodies. I wouldn't care. So your first bid was state.
No, all fed.
All fed.
Now, I got a state conviction out of Texas.
Oh, yeah.
I did get a state conviction out of Texas, but it was ran concurrent.
With the fed time. So you didn't have to go back.
So I didn't have to. I never made it to the TDC. I did a year in the county jail. By the time it was time for me to go to TDC, it was hard catching that chain. The TDC, that line was long, they say. So I never caught the chain, and I wound up getting out of the county jail down in Tyler.
Man, so last but not least.
And that was a bullshit case, too.
Oh, come on, man.
That case was straight bullshit, man.
They had the Texas indicted ham sandwich.
They just threw me on my cousin's case. I mean, me and my cousins hadn't been doing business for like 3 years. And my cousin called me, and his phone was wired, and he asked me about cocaine. And I was mad at him, like, y'all done cut me out the loop. I ain't getting that money no more.
You going off on him.
Man, what you call me for? I ain't doing nothing. But the prosecutor said when I said I ain't doing nothing, that means come on with it.
Oh, she flipped it because they on the phone. They have to talk this code language.
Damn.
It's this drug dealer language.
Yeah.
No, I mean I ain't. Yeah, y'all cut me out. Period. That's what it means. And cut me back in. Or cut it out.
But I didn't even want to be back in. I was walking away then. I felt I was just about to the point to where I don't need nothing else. I can make it for me.
I was gonna ask you that. Had you ever felt it was a point that you needed to quit, like while you got all this going on before the trouble came?
Yeah, I did. I'd want to quit a long time, but when the homies ain't right, they gonna pull you back. Come on, man, you can't quit right now. I need mine.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Man, what you doing with this weed business before we get out of here, man? What's what the cannabis game looking like for you right now?
I won a dispensary license in California.
Mm-hmm.
Opened up January 26th, my birthday.
Uh-oh.
And I done got pretty smart in the weed business. I believe that I'm in a position to really do some damage in the game.
Oh yeah.
With my brand,
it's gonna go with it.
The knowledge that I've gained from the weed. I've been in the weed business 9 years now. So I've been in it for a while. I ain't no new turkey. I almost had my own grow. I was building a grow that would have generated. And when I first got it, would have generated close to $3 million a month. And I had a break in. I went out of town to do a speaking engagement, and when I came back, people had broke in, stole all the copper plumbing, the wiring, and everything. So that threw that off. But I've been close in the weed business to really getting a real breakthrough.
Oh, it's on.
And you know, now with me having a dispensary, just puts me even that much closer.
I know that's right, man. We got a lot of states green. We trying to get Texas green. We ain't green. We light blue right now.
Yeah. Y'all got all them Republicans up in there.
You feel me? Once we get them, we try to get the last blood out the way, and then we can, get to doing our thing. But we finding ways around it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So definitely, man.
Well,
we look forward to your brand here.
If they don't wake up, and like I said early in the beginning of the show, allow some blacks to get in the game, it's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work, man.
So
what you gonna do? The black market gonna kill you.
It's killing California right now.
I know it. That's how this gonna happen.
California legal market. I got a call today from a guy, and he was telling me that he's gonna close the store down because he ain't making no money.
He ain't making no money. Yeah, man.
And then they charging, with the legal, they charging you taxes.
Mm-hmm.
They getting a third. Then you got to have security guard.
Mm-hmm.
Security guard gonna cost you about $2,500 a week.
Mm.
Then you got to have cameras. Then you got to be on metrics. Somebody got to monitor the cameras. That costs. Metrics costs. And when they find out that you're doing cannabis on the property, if you don't have the money to buy the building, your rent gonna be sky high. Right now my rent on my dispensary is $13,000 a month.
Whew. Welcome to Los Angeles.
Just the rent. That's just the rent.
Whoa, you ain't even opened the door or cut the lights on and put the cable in there and got the Wi-Fi going yet.
And your air conditioner got to go all night.
Oh, my God.
Because, weed got to be kept at a certain temperature. So your air conditioner got to go all night. And you got to have coolers for your concentrates.
Oh, yeah.
So you burning, my electricity bill every month like $800, $900 a month.
Ooh. Yeah, plus 13. Yeah, that's a nice. You got to make some money, but I know you're gonna figure it out.
They ain't counting the bud tenders.
Oh yeah.
You ain't even had it them in yet. We didn't
paid nobody yet. That's your bud tenders is your staff. Ain't nobody got nothing.
The trash bill, it's tough. It's
Man.
tough. They definitely gotta change these taxes and the restrictions on this business.
Oh, I know that's right, man.
They let these greedy ass politicians make the laws, though, man.
And so they can make all the money.
Like how y'all gonna make the laws and y'all ain't never smoked weed, you ain't never smoked weed, you ain't never sold weed, but now you talking about how the weed business should be ran. Come on.
You won't even let us put our money in the bank. That's crazy.
But they tax you.
That one I never get.
Yeah.
But then they say, oh, well, if it's federally mandated, it's not state, man. Oh, man, y'all just stay up on your game, stay woke, man. Get in before everybody else smother it, before the big farmers or big cigarette companies come take over.
That's what I believe they working toward.
Yeah, they want to take over.
Let the big farmers come in and take it over. And I just hope, man, y'all don't allow these people to come in here and get all these licenses. Because still the license got value. And down here, these licenses down here gonna be worth some real money. These licenses down here might be worth $3-4 million, maybe even more. In some places, just having a license alone is worth $4-5 million.
We'll chop that game up off camera.
All right.
And let that be said, because that's what's up. Man, what else are you working with? We got the book. We know the book is out.
We just hired
on
the
tour
director
with
for
the
the
book.
movie.
We
just hired a director for the movie. We hired Mike Ho. We signed this contract like a month ago. That was a long process, man.
And can you do me a favor with your movie? Zero, that's my brother. Joseph McBay. We love him to death.
My guy.
Can you please put him in this movie? Because he's highly upset with you right now. But
about what?
You put Omar in the movie where he was supposed to be in that character where he said you might have got the job. You was going to try to get him the job, and he look up Omar, rest in peace, to our people. And he said Omar got the job instead of him.
I didn't know. I didn't give him that.
Oh, you didn't? Okay. It was
No,
above you.
no. What he did though, he came to me and asked me for my blessings.
Okay.
But they gave him. They wouldn't even let me be on the set. They didn't want me on the set.
Oh.
No, they didn't want me to have
man.
nothing to do with that.
That's crazy.
Now Zero, my guy, man. Zero, one of the few dudes. What he did is he bought a box of books from me and sent them to all of his friends.
Yeah, I had just got out. He had sent me a book. That's the first time we met. We was scrammed up
And
in
he
his
came
in his
up with
van.
that idea. He just called me one day
He
and
started
like,
sending it to everybody in
like,
jail.
man, I'm gonna just buy your book and I'm just gonna give it to some people.
He sent it to us in jail.
And I was like, why everybody ain't doing that?
Man, he likes to do philanthropy off camera. The camera don't work for him.
Yeah. So that's my guy. You know, whatever I can do for Zero. You know.
Oh yeah, let's make that happen, man.
Since we met. Now I don't know about playing my role in the movie.
Yeah, no, not you. Now he didn't say he was gonna play you. He said he wanted a good role in it some kind of way.
Everybody want that boy Childish Gambino, man.
That's who should do it.
That's who they want, you know.
That's you.
And after they showed me who he was, and I paid a little attention to him. I was like, yeah, this guy might do it, you know. And then after I saw his, you know, his social following and everything, I said, man, if this dude do it, we're gonna make $1 billion. It's $1 billion movie.
Yeah, man, you on another level. They can kick Franklin to the curb. No disrespect, Franklin. Get bad. You gonna be talking British. That boy was bad too, though. I gotta give him his card. What made it that is he was from somewhere else with an accent of us. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, though, you know.
And you know what? When I met him, we had lunch one day at Whole Foods. One day I'm sitting at Whole Foods having
he was watching you, wasn't he?
lunch, and he pulled up on me and asked me if he could sit there and have lunch with me. We talked, and you know, he was pretty cool. You know, I just kind of got a little salty when I seen him win that award, and he didn't give me a shout out.
Oh, that's crazy.
You know, he gave everybody thanks except the one who gave him the story.
That's crazy.
And like he didn't know because he told me where the story come from. You know, he told me, he said, man, I don't know why John don't have you on the set. I need you on the set. And to say that and then not try to pull you in once he get the power. You know, I understand when you ain't got no power.
But when you get the power,
you know, you got to do what's right.
You got to make it work. Man, well, we in control our own destiny now. You got the new movie getting ready to pop off with the book, man. I wish you all the luck, and please don't make this the last
This
time.
ain't luck. You know this ain't no luck. We
Yeah.
don't believe in luck.
Oh, at all. Nah, this is destiny.
My man say, luck if you find a wallet with a bunch of money.
Money in it. This is destiny. We've done this. This is destiny.
Hey, he said when you go out there and plow the ground and plant seeds, he said they don't call that luck.
That's hard work.
Yeah, that's hard work.
That should pay off there, man. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you, man. And don't make this the last time. You know me, Casa Sukasa.
Just call me.
You know, I'll come to LA next time, too.
I'm going to come back. I'm going to be coming down here a lot.
Okay.
Because, you know, I'm working with the professor over at Texas State. You know, he's an inventor. Yeah, scientist. So, you know, I like scientists.
Oh, yeah. So we'll make sure we get us a part 2 and part 3 in, man. So, that's what it is, man.
And we're gonna have to cover this up. You know, we're doing a lot of stuff with helping the young men with the pastors, and you know, then I'm working with Misty Fab and them up there with Thug Therapy. You know, we finna go around the country with the Thug Therapy. So,
that's dope.
What Fab did is he went and got dudes who were successful in the drug business, and now they talking about how they were successful, and they put us on the stage together. And then we all compare what we have in common. You know, what's the common denominators? You know, not drinking, not smoking. You know what I'm saying? Not getting high. Common denominators. Easy to point out right off the bat. When me and Lil D was on stage together, the first thing I noticed is that me and him had the same habits. You know, neither one of us drunk. We never smoked. You know, never got high.
I wanted to get into that, but we'll say that.
Yeah, we do.
I like that.
But that's the kind of stuff that,
yeah,
you know, that we got going on.
It's dope, bro.
It's a movement.
Yeah, let's
go. It's quiet. Man. It's quiet, but it's building up steam.
And prison preserved you too, man. You look great, man. You're thinking, you sharp here. You know what I mean? And
that's that vegan diet.
Okay.
That vegan diet.
Animals.
You know, I've been vegan for 33 years.
Oh yeah. That's what they say that black don't crack.
Especially if you take care of it.
That is.
You know, they got us thinking that we supposed to die at 64, you know.
No.
But if we you know, preserve ourselves and try to do some of the things that's right, you know, we can last a little longer.
And you come out that farm in that country, so you know, man, there's 80-year-old men out there still hitting on it like they 20.
Yeah.
I got grandpas and shit, man. They you'll think they our age. I'm telling you, they getting it, man. But that's what it is, man. You got any last words you want to say? Any shout outs you want to give before we get out of here, man? I know your people
Y'all
gotta
go on
cut
the
the road.
website, get the book, FreewayRickyRoss.com. Don't go to Amazon. Also, you know, you can get the T-shirts. The Real Rick Ross is not a rapper. What else, man? I don't know. You know,
Where the next city? Where the next stop at?
I don't even know.
Oh, hey, y'all look on social media and catch the next stops.
Yeah. Follow me on Instagram. You know, Joe Rogan said that he was trying to check to see if I was shadow banned. I still believe I'm shadow banned.
Thank you,
Because I know I supposed to have way more than 428,000 followers.
Nah, I seen that. I was supposed to be at least 4.5, 10 million.
But you know, on Joe Rogan, we got 1.6 million views in a week. And my Instagram didn't go up but like 20,000 followers.
Oh, no.
So, you know, it is what it is.
You got Miss Megan here. You know, that's a secret weapon. She can do a lot of things.
We ain't got no problem with using our weapons.
That is.
You know,
That's what we do.
And they say a good general, he do everything he can not to go to war, but once he go to war, he putting out all the weapons.
The whole chessboard set up, man.
Yeah. So,
Man.
you know, y'all be tuned. You know, when I come out to the city, come out and get a book, I'll let your boy, man. We just grinding.
That's what it is, man. It's another episode of One-on-One with Mike D, man. I'm Miggity Mike D, man. It's Freeway Ricky Rouse, man. Y'all will see him again. Mikasa Sukasa, man. Stay tuned. It's going down. Thank you, man.
Thank you, Mike.
Already. Peace.